Disappear until you have reached a level of your life where you believe that you have a mental switch. A mental switch where before you would put everything else before your purpose. But now nothing comes before your God-given purpose. I don't know a life before this one. Man, let me tell you, there's a lot of people running themselves into the ground, doing things that add no value into their life, and that can't be us. There's a lot of people that complicate their life and they do things that really don't make sense, and it doesn't bring them to the levels that they think it's going to bring them. And that can't be us. We have to be realistic with ourselves. If we have big goals, then that takes energy, that takes time, and we have to pay attention to those goals. We can't be like everybody else. We can't afford to party like they do. Doesn't matter how cool it looks. Being on your grind is cooler. Being on your purpose is cooler. Right? And I'm not saying that you can't party for 6 months or for a year. I'm just saying, how far are you willing to go to finally see progress in your life? I'm speaking to that person that has not been putting in as much work. I'm speaking to that person that has put everybody else before themselves. I'm speaking to that person that has done so much for others and not enough for themselves. I'm speaking to that person that has wild goals, as they should. Your dreams should scare you. Your goals should scare you. But there comes a point where you have to put the effort in order to match what scares you. I'm speaking to that person. Today, right now, that's who I'm speaking to. And are you willing to do what's necessary? And sometimes that means disappearing until you finally have that mental switch to put your purpose first. Not just saying it, but living it. Not just saying it, but truly believing it. Not just saying it, but acting on it. Not just saying it, but reaching a point where if you weren't on your purpose, you feel out of place. You feel weird. You feel like your time didn't go where it could have. You feel like your energy wasn't used the way it should have been used. That's when you know you can come back into society, into the fold, into your friend group, into everything that's going on. When you finally make that mental switch, because a lot of these things is just mentality. And a lot of people want to figure out, well, how long do I go ghost? How long do I go monk mode? How long do I focus on myself? How long do I disappear for? You disappear until you make this mental switch. Until purpose becomes first. Until your relationship with yourself and your relationship with the creator that created you becomes first. For a lot of people, it's on the back burner and it even comes last. But it really is the spiritual root and it's the spiritual foundation for everything else to blossom. So you need to have that mental switch where you finally have your priorities in check and you're acting upon those priorities. To be honest, I don't know if that could happen in a week. I don't know if that could happen in 2. I don't know if that can happen in 3. I'm not putting a time limit on it, but I do know that a mental switch has to happen in order for you to see what you're truly capable of doing. Because once that switch occurs, you can definitely handle telling your friends, hey, I can't make it to that. I have to do this. Letting them down gently. You're able to set fences. You're able to set boundaries in your life. Once you're able to set boundaries for your purpose, then you could come back into society. You could, you cool, you good. Right. And a lot of people don't get there. It's a privilege to have priorities and to protect those priorities and to respect those priorities. And I think a lot of us have to isolate ourselves a little bit because we have to learn to protect those things and not neglect those things. And because we've neglected it for so long, it deserves our undivided attention for a period of time until we have our priorities back in order, back in check, right? One of my priorities, as you all know, is to make sure that I don't complicate my life. I like when my life is uncomplicated. Shout out to Tej Hanley. One of the things I don't overcomplicate is my skincare. My skincare is very simple, and that's why it's very effective, and that's why it works. So instead of you guys DMing me on Instagram saying, man, what do you do for your skincare routine? I'm going to tell y'all right now. I use Tej Hanley. I've been using them for over a year. All right. And you can use them too. 40% off your first box, 20% off for life. And on top of that, you get a free gift. What you have to understand is that Tej Hanley will give you everything that you currently don't have in order to have the best skin possible. They figured it out. A formula that works. A formula that has kept 7,000 men happy, giving it 5-star ratings. And I'm one of them. And that's why I'm talking about it today, because it works. So go try it today. Get your 40% off, 20% off for life, and a free gift. You deserve it. Treat yourself to some self-care. Invest in yourself. Invest in your look. Invest in your appearance. All right? Because even though we're talking about your disappearance, when you reappear, you want your skin to be looking healthy. You want it to be looking good. You know, you want to look the best that you've ever looked. You want to be as fit as you've ever been. You want to be as healthy as you've ever been. You want to come back and you want to shock the world and people look at you and say, man, you really been doing it. And even if they don't say it, it's for you to look in the mirror and say, I have been doing it. Not for others, right? That's just the cherry on top. So it's important for us to, again, put our purpose first and not neglect it. If you've made it to this part of the video, I want you to type the word below boundary. I'm going to read you a post that I posted on Instagram. Make sure you check me out on Instagram, y'all. Okay, I'll definitely love to have you over there. All right, check me out on Instagram. That's my page. We're posting good stuff, helping people be the best versions of themselves. There's a post that I made, and it's from my book, The Purposeful Man Playbook. You can check it out on Amazon. The quality of your life, how peaceful you feel, right? And before I even read this is when you know. This is when you know that you've really done it, that it's paid off, that the work that you're doing, the mental work that you're doing, the mental switch that you're making has truly paid off. Here we go. The quality of your life, how peaceful you feel, and your success are all tied to how strong your boundaries are. Once you really get this truth, you'll see that most of your problems come from one thing: not having strong enough boundaries or not having them at all. If you're a man and you're serious about your purpose, you need to understand that boundaries are not optional, they are essential. They're the walls that protect everything you're working to build, your dreams, your goals, your peace of mind. They define the perimeter of your inner world, safeguarding it from negativity, distractions, and influences that can derail your progress. A man with no boundaries has no sense of how reality actually works. It's either life is working for you or against you. When you have no boundaries, you will have a bunch of wasted energy because it's going everywhere but where you're telling it to go. When we are going ghost, when we're going monk mode, when we're focused on ourselves, when we're disappearing, we're finally telling our energy where it needs to go. It's no longer wasted potential because we're giving it direction, we're giving it a home, we're giving it an address, we're giving it a place. That is the importance of focusing on you. When you focus on you, what you're saying is, I am no longer overextending myself. I am only focused on me, my purpose, okay, and God. Right? This is very essential. Having boundaries is a natural byproduct of having priorities. If you have no boundaries, there's no way in hell you're actually prioritizing your priorities the right way. I'm writing this with love, but you should have already known this. This just scratches the surface. Read more about it in my book, The Purposeful Man Playbook, which all of you guys already have on YouTube. That's just me letting Instagram know that they need to go get it too, right? So, boundaries, like, you have to know when to go ghost again, even if it's for a couple hours a day. You have to know to set aside time for yourself. Like tomorrow, my friend, my brother, I'm gonna be hanging with him. It's been a long time. I haven't seen him in maybe over a year for sure. I'm super excited to see my brother. Right? This is a great friend of mine, college friend, college brother. I told him, I got to get some work done first. I'm gonna wake up early, and I'm a man of my word. I'm a good steward. I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna get my work done, and then I'm gonna have time to hang out with him. That's just because I have my priorities in check. What do I really want to do? I mean, I really want to hang out with my bro. It's been some time, but work first, and then once that's done and that's out the way, the rest of my day is free. Can you do that? Can you operate in a sense where you're able to put work first? Like, I'm filming a video right now. It doesn't matter who rings this phone. My phone is down, and I'm giving you guys my undivided attention because I'm flowing, and I don't want to mess up that flow. Ask me if I'm able to ignore the call. I am. That's how you know that you're someone that can prioritize their life in the right way. Once you can prioritize your life in the right way and set healthy boundaries, you're doing a pretty damn good job. You're doing a great job. Right? And that season of isolating yourself for such a long period of time, you can take what you learned with that, and now you know how to set boundaries for the rest of your life. You're learning a skill set that sometimes we have to sharpen over and over again. It's a skill set. It's a skill set. Right? And that skill set is something that you can take with you for life. You'll always know how to set boundaries, because there was a time in your life where you were unreachable, where the only thing you had were boundaries. And is that an extreme way to learn boundaries? Yeah. But I mean, it's much harder learning on the go. It's much more painful. It's a little easier to just kind of fall off the face of the earth for a little bit and just know that you can do that. We think we can't do that, but you can. Let the people know that they need to know, and do you. Disappear, get your life right, get your mind right, start reading books, start pouring into you. It's like you're on a little sabbatical. You're on a little vacation. You're still getting work done though. You're still on your purpose, but there's so much more time for you, so much more energy for you. I don't know. I think it's worth it. Disappear until you're able to set boundaries and integrate yourself into social circles that's going to invite you to spend your energy outside of your purpose, and you're able to say no, to decline, or say yes if you did everything you needed to do. That's a well-balanced life. That's a life of harmony. That's a life of self-love and self-care. And sometimes those things have to be learned in such a way where when you do something a little drastic or a little extreme, you're kind of good for life. And you'll be able to build and be on your purpose always because of that, because of those 4 months that you went monk mode, because of those 4 months where you went ghost, because you went ghost all year, whatever it is, because you went ghost for a week. However long you need until you have the mindset that we're speaking about today. Once you have it, you're welcome to definitely, you get what I'm saying. Most people would never do this, so they don't understand what I'm saying. And these are the same people that don't really have boundaries. They let people walk all over them. They don't see how they allow people to run and dictate their time and their calendar, their precious calendar. Nah. You only have so much time. There's only so much time. You have to spend it wisely. You have to consciously choose the life that you want. And part of that is reflecting on how you're spending your time. And when we reflect on how we're spending our time, we're able to use it better, way better. How can you reflect on how you're spending your time? You have to take time for yourself. A lot of these things are only answered by you. And so if you really want to dig deep and you really want to understand your purpose and you want to understand your priorities and you want to understand how you're spending your time, I don't know. You can't just go ghost for one day. You can't just prioritize yourself for one day. You'll need to prioritize yourself forever. But then at a certain point, integrate yourself back into these other things, these other areas of your life that you really do love and care about. But you can't ever put yourself on a back burner again, because if you do, you'll lose purpose, you'll lose understanding, you'll lose yourself, and you only become these other areas. A socialite, a very social person, but you give away all of you and you have nothing left for yourself. Working at your job, slaving away, and then you have nothing for yourself. Doing what your friends telling you to do, not doing what's in your heart. You're living other people's lives. You're on autopilot. Get off of that. I'm trying to put the power back in your hands. If you watched up to this point, put the word power, because what we're talking about is powerful. Comment the word power below, because what we're talking about is powerful. And once you understand what we're talking about, you could never go back. You could never go back. You can never go back. Right? You can never go back. Now is the time for you to, like the word on my wall says, create the life that you want. Now is the time for you to create the life that you want. It's not the time for you to not believe in yourself. It's not the time for you to slack. It's none of that. It's the time for you to create the life that you truly want. First link below, Teej Hanley. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. Go ghost until, disappear until, monk mode until you understand. Until you understand how to actually put your priorities and your purpose first. Blessings. See you in the next one, man. Salute to the purpose-driven community. If I didn't learn to defeat that, she probably wouldn't be sitting here. I had to man up. When you're dealing with lust, that's some little boy stuff, and we got to be honest about that as men. We got to come together and we got to help each other. If you really going through lust, bro, like I'm talking about, it's really bad. DM me the word brotherhood. You might need more than the chosen ones if it's really getting to that point. You're gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm proud of you, and I don't know who else better to teach men how to defeat that than you, or at least someone who's gone through it. It's not like you've been married since the beginning of time. You came out perfect, and then you know everything. He had to struggle to even sit here before you. So this is information that he's had to go through, that he's offering you for really, it's pretty cheap. It's $11 a month.